Moi-même, a déjà dit, je vais écrire pour lui donner.
Merci.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister Fofana, Minister of Water Resources, Sanitation, and Urban Cleanliness, Mr. Jean-Luc Assé, Minister of the Environment and Sustainable Development, Madam Inga Anderson, Director of UNEP, Madam Yvette Daoud, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Your Excellencies, distinguished ambassadors, Mr. Philip Poinceau, Resident Coordinator of the United Nations System, Your Excellency, Mr. Kevin Karoki, Vice President of the African Development Bank, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, the honorable representatives of institutions of Côte d'Ivoire, ladies and gentlemen, representatives of ministerial cabinets, the representatives of the private sector, the representatives of civil society, the youth, the press, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol respected, we welcome all of you to this beautiful celebration of the 50th anniversary of the World Environment Day. In fact, since 1972, that scientists alerted the international community of the danger posed to our planet, and the danger is still with us because of the growing increase in greenhouse gases and the use of fossil fuels. Aware of this threat, the General Assembly of the United Nations decided that the 5th of June should be World Environment Day. This year, 5th of June 2023, is the 50th anniversary of that day, and this year's Côte d'Ivoire, with the collaboration of the Netherlands, is the host country, and they were discussing solutions to plastics pollution. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we're here today, because our country was chosen as the host country. I believe we should applaud that decision that was taken. And I would like to also start our program by inviting two children, one Maisal and Koulibaly Jamil from NGO Kokodi, represented here by the Vice President, Madam Oka Kwasi, an NGO specialized in raising awareness on environmental activities in schools, creation of green schools and planting and creating gardens in schools. And I think they can come up to so that, and also sculptors involved in recycling. I think we can applaud them. And two of them, Maisa and Koulibaly Maja, have the heavy responsibility of telling us about the institutional film that is coming, that is going to be screened now. Can we give them the microphone, please? If there's no microphone, no problem. Maisal, Jamil.
Alors, je vous cède mon micro, Jamil.
Jamil, I'll give you my microphone. Please. We'll want you to watch the institutional film now.
La Terre des lagunes a connu d'immenses changements au cours des dernières décennies. Ayant grandi en Côte d'Ivoire dans les années 1980, M. Ossé Bernard Yapo se souvient avoir utilisé des sacs réutilisables pour transporter le pain ainsi que des bouteilles en verre de boisson. Néanmoins, ces jours-ci, Les sacs et emballages à usage unique sont la norme. Et les déchets plastiques s'amoncellent dans l'environnement.
Par exemple, à Abidjan et même dans toutes les villes en Côte d'Ivoire, toutes les villes sont affectées par le plastique. Donc, ce qui fait que la question de la problématique de la transformation, de la dégradation du plastique pose un véritable problème du fait de sa présence continue dans les milieux environnementaux, dans les cours d'eau.
Innovateurs, start-up et ONG surveillent les points chauds de la pollution et explorent des technologies de transformation du plastique en énergie. Ils mettent au point des machines afin d'améliorer la collecte et le traitement des déchets plastiques. Reciplast œuvre à la transformation des déchets plastiques en matière première.
Et grâce à cette solution Plastoc qui est de récompenser aujourd'hui, parce que c'est vrai qu'on rachète, mais c'est une récompense sur leur action de venir ramener ces déchets plastiques à travers nos points de collecte. Alors toutes ces collectes aujourd'hui transitent de nos points de collecte vers des centres de tri et de compactage. Et le processus de transformation, il est mécanique. Il prend la bouteille à l'état brut sale et les ramène en paillettes lavées à chaud, broyées de 8 à 12 mm et prêt à être expédiées. Et grâce à toute cette expérience, aujourd'hui, on a pu développer ce réseau sur Abidjan, dans notamment 4 ou 5 communes aujourd'hui, avec 50 points de collecte. Capacité de collecte d'environ 150 tonnes de déchets par mois qui sont interceptés à travers nos points de collecte.
Malgré ces efforts, il reste encore beaucoup de chemin à parcourir.
Effectivement, il y a un lien très étroit entre la pollution par le plastique et le développement des activités socio-économiques. Surtout pour un pays comme la Côte d'Ivoire. Donc c'est le plastique que nous trouvons souvent sur la côte qui cause donc des désagréments qui empêchent les activités économiques dont la pêche. Oui, sur le tourisme effectivement.
En 2013, le gouvernement de la Côte d'Ivoire a décrété l'interdiction de l'importation, de la production, de l'utilisation et de la vente des sacs plastiques non biodégradables, les pollueurs étant passibles d'emprisonnement et d'amende. Des progrès ont été réalisés, notamment dans les grands supermarchés, mais une grande partie du secteur informel continue à fonctionner sans prendre en compte l'interdiction.
Pour que les efforts que la Côte d'Ivoire fait soient soutenus par les autres pays également.
En mars 2022, le gouvernement de la Côte d'Ivoire a salué la décision historique de négocier un accord pour mettre fin à la pollution plastique, prise lors de la 5e Assemblée des Nations Unies pour l'environnement. S'il est vrai qu'il reste beaucoup à faire pour lutter contre la pollution plastique, il existe des voies à explorer allant au-delà de la simple interdiction.
Aujourd'hui, c'est l'idée qu'il faut faire passer, parce que le plastique ne peut être considéré comme un déchet. Il faut le réutiliser, le réinventer. Oui, parce que ça, comme nous disons toujours, la question du plastique doit quitter le domaine, la vision de l'économie linéaire pour entrer dans le cadre de l'économie circulaire.
Bonjour cher tonton, bonjour cher tata, Akwaba, bienvenue.
So welcome here. My name is Maisal. I'm 8 years old and I'm delighted to be here with you today for the 50th anniversary celebration of the World Environment Day. Good morning, parents. We thank you for watching this film. We are children, and today we want to count on you to find solutions to plastics pollution. Thank you. We should encourage these children by applauding them. Thank you. Thank you, Maisal. Thank you, Jame. And thank you, NGO Kokodi. Thank you, Madame Kwasi. We thank you before they go and grade the personalities. Please direct them to say hello to the officials seated there. The film we just watched shows us the critical situation in Côte d'Ivoire. But we are happy that the government is taking some action in this regard. And if you are all happy with what's happening regarding this circular economy, and if you are happy with what has started, I want you to kindly applaud the initiatives of the government. Maybe pictures. Thank you. When we talk of Côte d'Ivoire, we also talk about culture, and I would like, with your permission, that we welcome the Aneka troupe, which in the Way language from the west of Côte d'Ivoire. It is a troupe that started in 2021. It is based in the Yopougon community, especially it deals with dancers in Côte d'Ivoire. And they will be presenting one dance to you that gives you some idea of culture in Côte d'Ivoire. So let's welcome this Konaka troupe.
La troupe Anaka est-elle prête?
The Anaka troupe, I don't know if they're ready. If they're not ready, then I suggest we continue. I would like to call on Madame Viviane Eshnen, the Honorable Minister of the Environment of the Netherlands.
Nous continuons, nous laissons.
What do? Do we continue? Mr. Anaka, please, we welcome you. We should applaud for them. And please, go ahead with your presentation.
Commencez à jouer, je vous prie.
Kongro mamba onu bafa be mamba wakpa. Ai bo bien onu bafa be ma usia. Ausan bola be bo mitise. Ausan bola be misuna di talebo. Ai kongro mamba onu bafa be mamba wakpa. Ai bo bien onu bafa be ma usia. Ausan bola be bo mitise. Ausan bola be misuna di talebo. Ai na shabae. Bele misio, Ausan yebio, Sana de talebo, Ausan bae, Ausan bakaonya o, Esi bele misio, Ausan yebio, Sana de talebo.
Merci. Merci à la troupe Aneka. Il faut les applaudir très, 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 très fort. Ils ont fait l'effort de représenter quelques pans de la culture. Nous étions à l'Est en deuxième position et j'ai vu notre frère Rocky Daoudi.
Thank you very much. We want to thank this troupe. Wonderful. We presented some aspects of our culture. For those of us from the east of Côte d'Ivoire, I'm sure you also felt very much at home during this presentation. In any case, let's applaud them. The Anaka means our values in the Way language in the south of the west of Côte d'Ivoire. I would like to call on Mr. Jean-Luc Kassi, the Honorable Minister of the Environment and Sustainable Development, who is at the very heart of this 50th anniversary. Thank you for applauding for him as he comes up to the rostrum. Please continue to applaud until the minister gets to the podium.
Mr. Bouaké
Fofana, the Minister of Water Resources, Sanitation and Cleanliness. Madam Angels Anderson, Executive Director of UNEP, Mr. Izet Daub, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Mr. Philip Poinso, Regional Coordinator of the United Nations System, Mr. Kevin Kariuki, Vice President of the African Development Bank, distinguished ambassadors, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of the Republic's institutions, representatives of ministerial cabinets, the representatives of the private sector, representatives of civil society, youth, students, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. The whole world is facing a growing threat, which is plastics pollution. In 2022, the awareness of this problem was manifested in the 5th General Assembly of the United Nations when a resolution on the preparation of a binding solution to plastics pollution was adopted, including marine pollution, and by the end of 2024, all of this is supposed to come to an end. It was within this framework that Côte d'Ivoire, country of hospitality, welcomes this World Environment Day as the host country, and the theme is beating plastic pollution, beat plastic pollution. This event coincides with the celebration of the 50th anniversary of this day. Our country is therefore honored and proud to be taking part in the fighting against pollution. And today, what we want is solutions, because we all know the negative effects of plastics pollution. It is alarming. Plastics pollution affects the oceans and it affects the food chain. It is harmful to our health, and as a result of our mode of production and consumption. And to face plastics pollution, scientists propose immediate solutions that are applied either to stop it or to prevent it. And the putting in place of the circular economy is absolutely one of the keys that has been proposed. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Environment Day gives us an opportunity to sensitize citizens of the world to implement solutions that entail the adaptation and the adoption of policies, and this requires the solution of the United Nations Environment Program, the Netherlands, the African Development Bank, organizations within the United Nations family, the private sector, local organizations, civil society organizations, and all partners and actors involved in fighting plastics pollution. At this stage, I would like, on behalf of the President of the Côte d'Ivoire, His Excellency Alassane Ouattara, and the Prime Minister, Mr. Jerome Patrick Ashi, thanks to our illustrious host, Madam Angel Anderson, Executive Director of the United Nations Environment Program. She's here in our midst. She's been here since Saturday, the 3rd of June 2023. The door of Côte d'Ivoire has been opened to her to intensify our collaboration for the implementation of the action plan of Côte d'Ivoire to eliminate plastics pollution. This plan against plastic pollution of Côte d'Ivoire is being prepared with the Abidjan Convention and the support of the European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, Côte d'Ivoire in 2013 adopted a decree 2013-20something on forbidding the production and importation and marketing or keeping of plastics. It supported companies in the use of biodegradable and reusable containers. In different sectors, we want to put an end to the use of plastics. And Abidjan, the largest city in the country, has become a pole for startups that are trying to fight against plastics pollution, and want to encourage them. We should therefore all be sensitized to this fight against plastics pollution, and all of us should say no more plastics pollution. Côte d'Ivoire will continue to carry out activities that will work with the private sector, to work with the companies, work in the field of plastics, to make sure that we are engaged in this circular economy, creating green jobs, making sure that there are profound changes in the behavior of citizens, and coming up with different measures, and educating our children. And we hope also that we will soon have a new code of the environment that will lay emphasis on the broadened responsibility on the producer and the polluter who pays, particularly regarding the environment. There is going to be a vast campaign to raise awareness of all the actors, so that each one of them should be able to contribute to a new world without plastics. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be remiss if I end without thanking all the participants at this event. It is a measure of their commitment to fight against plastics pollution, and I want to thank you very dearly. I also want to thank all the representatives of governments, companies, the United Nations family, representatives of bilateral and multilateral organizations, as partners associated with this ceremony. Together, as part of solidarity, we will win the battle against plastics solution. And it is on this hopeful note that I would like to wish all of you a wonderful celebration of the 50th anniversary of the World Environment Day in Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur le ministre.
We would like to thank the Honorable Minister Jean-Luc Atse, the Minister of the Environment and Sustainable Development, before he leaves us, or rather before he takes his seat. I said earlier, and it is time for us to go back to the intervention of Madame Viviane Eshnen, the Honorable Minister of the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Unfortunately, I can't be with you today in Abidjan, but I'd like to congratulate the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire on hosting this important event on this special day. And I would also like to express my appreciation to Côte d'Ivoire and UNEP for their leadership. World Environment Day helps to highlight the urgent challenges we currently face, challenges like climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Plastic pollution touches on all three of those challenges, and it's clear what we have to do. We need to protect our climate by limiting the use of fossil feedstock in the production of virgin plastic. We need to protect biodiversity by improving our reuse and recycling of plastic, and we must end plastic pollution. Pollution that takes place throughout the entire life cycle of plastics and in every corner of our planet. To end it, we need to work together at global level. I'm glad that Côte d'Ivoire is actually contributing to these efforts, together with other African nations. Last year's World Circular Economy Forum highlighted some great examples and showed that many governments and businesses are ready and willing to work together. So what are we doing in the Netherlands? The Netherlands is an active member of the High Ambition Coalition of Nations. Negotiations on a legally binding international instrument to fight plastic pollution are ongoing. Our aim is an ambitious global treaty that addresses the entire life cycle, engages all stakeholders, and stimulates innovation. One example of such innovation is our National Test Center for Circular Plastics, an independent test and innovation facility for sorting and washing plastics. The Netherlands is the first country in Europe to open a test center of this kind. National and international stakeholders are welcome to seek advice from the Center on Innovation and Research in Circular Plastics. It's crucial that we continue raising awareness, collecting best practices, and ensuring commitment from all stakeholders. World Environment Day is a fantastic way to do that. And it doesn't end here. Going forward, we need to preserve this momentum and keep working on new solutions. I hope that this edition of World Environment Day will prove to be a landmark event in our collective fight to beat plastic pollution. I wish you all a successful day. Thank you very much.
Voilà, c'était l'intervention de Madame Viviane Eshnen.
We just heard the presentation of the Honorable Minister of the Environment of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, who has just spoken to us about her country, and also referred to the work that Côte d'Ivoire is doing and the collaboration between Côte d'Ivoire and the Netherlands on proposals and projects that should be undertaken so that we are all anti-plastics pollution countries. So I would like us to applaud once again for Madame Viviane Eshnen. I'm told that we have another official that has joined us, and that I think is Excellency. Your Excellency, I don't know if you're with us.
Merci d'applaudir Son Excellence, Monsieur le Président d'Afrique.
I'm told he's the President of Africa. He's a comedian, of course.
Parce que j'étais bien évidemment à l'Hôtel d'Ivoire. Je me suis déplacé.
Comedian making the Honorable President of Côte d'Ivoire. I would like us to applaud for my young brother, Jean-Luc Atse. So I want to welcome all of you to this World Environment Day. I want once again to congratulate Jean-Luc Atse, who has spent no effort in working hard, and I will be proposing 3 billion CFA for those of you who have come to attend this event. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the Honorable Minister Fofana, our Minister of Water Resources, Sanitation, and of course Urban Cleanliness, Mr. Bate Fofana. I want to thank you. You've come here with your brother, and as Minister of State, I will want to recommend you for the great work you are doing in your various areas. I also want to thank the executive director, and
Vous savez,
as you know, plastic solutions is a priority for the government. And I have my young brother, Jean-Luc Assé, does everything possible for this issue to be taken seriously in our country and throughout Africa, and even within the United Nations family. And regarding our meeting, we also refer to the African Union. So Jean-Luc Assé is looking for an international solution to this problem. But as you know, I didn't come here alone, because as the President of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, I want to call on my brother, Dr. Toure, the Minister Governor, to also give support to my young brother, Jean-Luc Assé.
Vraiment, je suis vraiment content parce que lorsque je vois que Jean-Luc Assé travaille beaucoup pour l'environnement, la raison pour laquelle j'ai quitté le Denguélé pour venir le soutenir, et j'aimerais que vous l'applaudissiez très très fort parce que je cherche une solution qu'on pratique à l'international. Merci beaucoup. Donc, mon fils, merci. Donc, avant de partir, moi, je vais te donner 350 millions. Je vais être conscient. Merci beaucoup. Donc, avant de clore mes propos, donc, mesdames et messieurs, je vais donc rendre hommage à mon fils Amadou Gon Coulibaly et puis Ahmed Bakayoko.
Merci beaucoup. Donc, en tant qu'Amadou Gon Coulibaly, donc, étant donc dans les cieux, et je continue donc de prier pour mon ministre Jean-Luc Assé, pour le travail qu'il a battu toujours en matière concernant l'environnement. Grâce aussi à mon fils, donc, je constate que la Côte d'Ivoire est dans un environnement très fiable. Et donc, je félicite aussi mon jeune frère, à savoir Bouaké Fofana, ministre de l'hydraulique, de l'assainissement. Vraiment, merci beaucoup pour votre présence. Et donc, je vais laisser la parole à M. Bakayoko qui continue de prier pour vous.
Oui, vous savez, en tant qu'Ahmed Bakayoko, je suis fier. Lorsque Gabriel me charge, je dis merci à Jean-Luc Assé. Restez concentrés, la solution face à notre par rapport à des trucs plastiques, mais vous avez vu, la pollution plastique n'est pas des choses strictes en Afrique. Mais notre ministre Jean-Luc Assé a trouvé des solutions. En tant qu'Ahmed Bakayoko, je continue de prier pour lui, mais vraiment, je suis fier de vous. Mais pour clore mes propos, je laisse la parole à Grand P pour partir.
Vous savez, c'est à ce que Grand P, j'ai pris les moyens de l'environnement. J'ai dit que je vais veiller pour soutenir mon fils, à savoir mon ministre Jean-Luc Assé. Et j'aimerais collaborer quelquefois parce qu'il a trouvé la solution face à la pollution plastique. Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, merci à tous ceux qui ont effectué le déplacement. J'ai fait confiance aussi à notre ministre, Premier ministre Patrick Achi, car Patrick Achi est un battant contre la pollution plastique. Donc, monsieur le ministre Jean-Luc Assé, bravo à toi. Monsieur le ministre aussi Bouaké Fofana, bravo à vous. Mais vous savez qu'avant de partir, j'avais décaissé la somme de 3 milliards de francs CFA. Je vais augmenter ce budget à 500 milliards de francs CFA. Et puis, donc, je vous remercie, tous ceux qui ont effectué le déplacement. Merci pour votre soutien. Merci beaucoup. On applaudit très, très fort pour monsieur le ministre. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President, Your Excellency. Of course, he's going to shake hands with the officials.
Tate, the voice of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, and various personalities. Please, a round of applause for him. Le chapeau aussi, hein? Alors, I would like now to invite here at this stage the Executive Director of the UN Programme for Environment, Mrs. Inger Anderson. Please, a round of applause for her.
I have to say I'm very happy I speak after the comedian. Monsieur Jean-Luc Assy, ministre de l'Environnement et du Développement durable.
Mr. Jean-Luc Assy, Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, Mrs. Minister, Honorable Minister of Culture, that we have dinner with, and Mrs. Yvette Daoud, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Mr. Kevin Karaoke, Vice President of the African Development Group and brother from Kenya, Your Excellencies, partners, we celebrate today the World Environment Day. We would like to encourage each and every one of you to fight against plastic pollution. Thank you. We want to thank the Kingdom of the Netherlands for its support. Côte d'Ivoire, which is hosting the International World Day Environment, is showing its commitment vis-à-vis the climate crisis, the biodiversity crisis, and the pollution crisis. The plastic pollution is hovering about over the planet. The world produces more than 400 million of metric tons of plastic, and less than 10% of them are recycled. Where is the rest? They are buried, thrown, burned after a single use in the oceans, in the rivers, and in the lakes. The plastic ends up eaten up by wildlife and human beings. Plastic pollution is a serious threat for ecosystem, human health, and climate. And Côte d'Ivoire is not protected against this pollution. Dear friends, we must put an end to this plastic pollution for our prosperity, for the health of the planet, for the health of mankind. To reach this objective, we'll have to rethink our modes of production, of consumption, and use of plastic. We have to redefine the concept of products in order to use less plastic products, especially plastic products. We have to redefine the concept of packaging to reduce plastic use. We have to rethink the system of recycling. We have to repurpose the system to secure a justice to the informal waste workers access decent jobs. The international community is working on this through an international agreement to put an end to plastic pollution. This agreement should be concluded by 2024. Côte d'Ivoire is fully committed to this process. Côte d'Ivoire is working at a national level. We have just heard the official telling us that plastic bans of single-use have been banned since 2013. It's part of the 13 ECOWAS countries to have banned plastic bags completely by 2025. But we must scale up. Each lost year, we must scale up this momentum, because each year, lost year, enhance the dangers. We must sign an ambitious program to eradicate plastic pollution. We must have an agreement on the whole plastic cycle, an inclusive agreement which encourages the involvement of informal sector plastic workers. We must have an approach which suits developing countries. The industry and the private sector must be involved in the negotiation against plastic pollution, but we don't have to wait for an agreement. We must show creativity to fully take advantage of the new commercial models and emerging markets. Let's redefine the products and the packaging in order to eradicate plastics, or at least use less of them, make them easily reusable, recyclable, and we believe that investors must support this transition. And I'm turning to international financial institutions which must invest in waste management mechanism. Dear friends, acting to put an end to plastic pollution is an opportunity for developing countries. By working together, we can eradicate plastic pollution by 2040. We can reduce social, environmental, and health losses. We can create hundreds of thousands of jobs, particularly in developing countries, and stimulate the emergence of new commercial opportunities. This is a win-win situation, provided we have a fair transition. Such a transition is important for Côte d'Ivoire, where the waste industry employs some 20,000 people. It is crucial for the rest of the continent, where decent and sustainable jobs can be offered to women and youth and give them stability. The way the world produces and consumes plastic has resulted in a disaster. We must put an end by turning off the taps of plastic pollution. Through the World Environment Day, please join this world movement to put an end to plastic pollution once for all. Thank you.
Merci d'applaudir très, 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 très.
Thank you very much for this statement from the Executive Director of the United Nations Environment Program. She's had a word for each one of us to put an end to plastics pollution.
Après ces propos,
after the statement by the Executive Director of UNEP, I'll give the floor now to the Vice President of the African Development Bank to tell us something about the commitment of the African Development Bank in this regard. This is the Vice President of the African Development Bank for Energy. Please, would you kindly applaud him? Climate and green growth.
Thank you very much. I'll speak in English, if that's okay with you. Your Excellency, Minister for Environment and Sustainable Development of Côte d'Ivoire, Jean-Luc Assis. Your Excellency, Minister for Sanitation and Hydraulic of Côte d'Ivoire, His Excellency Bouaké Fofana. Your Excellency, Executive Director of the UNEP and my sister from Nairobi, Madam Inge Anderson. His Excellency Philippe Pinoy, coordinator of the UN system in Cote d'Ivoire. Her Excellency Yvette Daoud, ambassador of the Netherlands in Cote d'Ivoire. Honorable representatives of local authorities, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. The African Development Bank is privileged to join the government of Cote d'Ivoire, the government of Netherlands, the United Nations Environment Programme, and the global community in celebrating this year's edition of World Environment Day 2023 on the theme Solutions to Plastic Pollution. As we discuss plastic pollution, we should be mindful that before becoming one of the most pressing global environment issues of our time, plastic products contribute to very vital segment of our manufacturing model and make great impact on our lives, with benefits extending into far-reaching areas such as medical supplies, safety equipment, and safe water supply. The theme of this year's World Environment Day on solutions to plastic pollution is of paramount importance in the world where plastic pollution is one of the most daunting global challenges, with significant impact on public health and environment damage caused of uncollected, uncontrolled disposal, open burning, and unsound recovery of plastic waste. It is currently estimated that on average, 21 million tons of plastic waste is dumped annually in lakes, rivers, and seas, and it takes up 1,000 years to degrade. Despite the challenges it poses to the economy and the environment, and less than 10% of the 7 billion tons of plastic waste generated globally per year is recycled, with plastic pollution is responsible for over 3% of the global greenhouse gas emission. Today, the exponential increase of production of plastics, the health and environmental threats posed by plastic pollution have become even more alarming and are expected to double by 2050 if no urgent and coordinated action is taken to reverse the increasingly worrying trend. It is therefore my hope that the ongoing intergovernmental negotiation process on plastic pollution, whose second round happened, I think, this week in Paris, will result in an international legally binding agreement on the menace next year. In this regard, the 2023 World Environment Day will focus on solutions to plastic pollution, provides us with an opportune moment to reflect on the importance of circular economy approach in addressing plastic pollution as the world transitions from the current linear economy model to one that is sustainable approach and based on what we call the 3 Rs, which stands for reduce, reuse, and recycle. I am confident that after reflection, the conclusion will be that circular economy approach is the preeminent sustainable solution to plastic solution, and that we must adopt this model. I am particularly delighted that our host country, Cote d'Ivoire, has been selected to be the global host of the 2023 World Environment Day. This is in recognition of the progress being made by the country to address issues around plastic pollution, including the 2013 banning of production, import, marketing, and use of plastic bags. Abidjan has also since become a hub of startups to beat plastic pollution. Meanwhile, the bank continues to be a strategic partner to the World Environment Days and other global initiatives. And since 2018, the bank has supported the government of Cote d'Ivoire and UNEP in convening the annual editions of the World Environment Day to raise awareness on environment challenges such as plastic pollution and showcase innovative solutions. This year too, the bank is supporting several activities, including the participation of 10 African entrepreneurs to showcase their solutions and innovations. Ladies and gentlemen, for us at the African Development Bank, the circular economy approach is the solution to plastic solution, as it creates more sustainable future by making recycling an integral part of waste management system. Indeed, recycling the plastic waste that is generated and returning it into manufacturing chain has become a critical way to unlock the economic value of plastic products. In this instance, the waste becomes a resource to manufacture new materials and products. It is in this spirit that the African Development Bank has embraced circular economy as the solution to promote sustainable economic growth, foster social change, address climate change, while prompting initiatives against environmental challenges facing our continent. To provide, as articulated in our strategic framework on climate change and green growth 2021 to 2030, the bank is actually committed to promoting circular and circular carbon economy in Africa through implementing programs and initiatives that contribute to environmental management and sustainability. Two such programs are the Africa Circular Economy Alliance and the Africa Circular Economy Facility, which aim to promote circularity and sound management of waste, including plastic waste in Africa. Just to provide a bit of detail, the Africa Circular Economy Facility is a €4 million multi-donor trust fund at the bank, supported by Finland and the Nordic Development Fund. It seeks to support the development of enabling environments, such as circular economy roadmaps and bankable circular economy investments in Africa, thus enabling circularity in the private sector, in startups, SMEs, and promoting country ownership for the mainstreaming of circular economy as a development strategy on the continent. Let me conclude by warmly commending our partners, the government of Cote d'Ivoire, for their remarkable efforts in organizing this year's edition of World Environment Day, and of course, UNEP for their technical support. Moving forward, the African Development Bank remains committed to work with all of you to ensuring that environment sustainability, climate action, and promoting green growth while supporting economy and social inclusion in Africa. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President of the ADB. Est-ce qu'on peut l'applaudir très très fort?
Would you kindly applaud for the Vice President of the African Development Bank? He said the African Development Bank, and I'm just giving you highlights of what he said, is leaving a stone unturned to combat plastics pollution, its impact on health, on nutrition. He also dwelled on the areas to promote, reduce, reuse, and recycle, the 3 R's.
Doulabad.
From the AFDB, now we'll go to Abidjan. We'll come back to Abidjan, and we'll find ourselves in Accra, where Mr. Bodiki, who's the Goodwill Ambassador for the environment. He's an artist. Rocky Dawuni. Please applaud for him.
Pendant que le setup se positionne, je voudrais juste donner quelques informations.
While we wait for Mr. Dawuni, after Mr. Dawuni's presentation, we will have a group photo outside this room. After cutting off the tape by the Honorable Minister Jean-Luc Assé and Boake Fofana, accompanied by the Executive Director Inge Anderson.
Can you let me help you? Is it going?
1, 2, 1, 2. It's not on yet. Okay. 1. Hello. How are you all feeling today? It's World Environment Day, And my name is Rocky Dawouni. It's an honor to be here today and an honor to join all of you. So right now, on such an important occasion, and celebrating you two right here in our incredibly beautiful country of Cote d'Ivoire, I am very honored as a UNEP Goodwill Ambassador, as an African, to be here to celebrate with you. So I will ask everybody to stand up. Tout le monde. Debout. Yeah. And then if you can sing and move, you know, we all can sing together, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. Let me hear you sing. So, rock your soul. So, let me hear you. So, rock your soul. So, rock your soul. People, you know, one day we gonna be the star. People, you know, all I wanna do is rock your soul. Some may claim I'm just a superstar. People, you know, all I wanna do is rock your soul. Together we will build a community with love and harmony, away from the pettiness of jealousy. Yeah, local leaders everywhere. One day all will fade away. We do that right, we should be okay. So I'll sing. People, you know, one day we gonna be the star. People, you know, all I wanna do is rock your soul. Some may claim we are the African star. People, you know, all I wanna do is rock your soul. For time will reveal every hidden character. In the end, none of that will matter. Following the words of the Holy Master. When we are true, breaks us through. It takes two. Me and you, yeah. People, you know, one day we gonna be the star. People, you know, all I wanna do is rock your soul. Some may claim we are the African star. People, you know, all I wanna do is rock your soul. For time will reveal every hidden character. In the end, none of that will matter. Following the words of the Holy Master. When we are true, breaks us through. It takes two. Me and you, let's sing. So, rock your soul, Shantae. So, rock your soul. So, I wanna rock you so every day and night. I wanna love you so. I wanna rock you so. volunteer, let me hear you. So rock your soul. Let me hear you. So rock your soul. Rock your soul. I want to use this opportunity to thank the country of Côte d'Ivoire for hosting this, and God bless us all in our efforts to beat plastic pollution. We know that we can do it together, not individually, but collectively. We have the power, the will, the mindset, and the inspiration to go forth and do that. So thank you all. And one more time, let me hear you. So rock your soul. Let me hear it one more time.
Rock your soul. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rocky. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate. Alors, je voudrais demander à la presse de pouvoir sortir et se positionner pour la photo de famille qui va se faire donc outside. Et ensuite, nous aurons la coupure du ruban avec messieurs les ministres Jean-Luc Assy et Bouaké Fofana, accompagnés de madame la directrice exécutive du programme des Nations Unies pour l'environnement. Et juste après cela, ce sera la dernière étape, la visite des stands, qui sera faite premièrement par les officiels. Merci infiniment, chers invités, d'être venus pour cette ouverture de ce cinquantenaire tenu par la Côte d'Ivoire qui marque la Journée mondiale de l'environnement. Et cette année, la thématique est focalisée sur la lutte contre les déchets plastiques. Merci infiniment. Messieurs les ministres, je vous prie de bien vouloir donc suivre le protocole pour la photo de famille, premièrement, avec tous les officiels, je vous prie. Et juste après, nous aurons la coupure du ruban. Ensuite, la visite des stands qui sera faite premièrement par les officiels. Et juste après cela, vous aurez donc un point de presse tout juste en haut. La visite des stands est faite premièrement par les officiels.
Will be done by officials, and after the officials, the rest of us can visit the stands. So please, for now, just the officials, now the group photograph, the cutting of the tape, and the visit of the stands. Thank you very much.